Good afternoon, Professor. This is my presentation on screencast. I'm introducing technology into education, and I'm using social media as a presentation to explain different topics and how students are using social media. I develop my information by elaborating journal articles. Through journal articles, which I have my references in the back, I'm explaining my presentation. Okay, this is my add to my drive, download, and different more actions that I can do. This is Introduction to Technology into Education. And as I'm going down, you can see my title, journal articles. Article number 1 is a learning journey for all. And I focus a learner-centered classrooms. I feel that students are empowered through collaborative work and the opportunity to reconstruct newly acquired knowledge and information. Students become more engaged as they see wikis grow and learn accountability as they provide each other with feedback, positive, constructive feedback as they monitor each other's contribution to a classroom. I got this information and I cite my resource, LEAD 2012, article. This is my article number 1. Okay, article number 2, that's tweeting in the classroom. What I did is, for this particular article, I wanted to emphasize the effectiveness in tweeting in the classroom, okay, and it allows instant access of new information on real time. People can connect with other students on current events and real world perspectives outside of their normal everyday life. Say, for instance, right now with all this situation that is happening in the beautiful island of Puerto Rico, the earthquakes that happen in Mexico, Harvey, affecting Texas, and different other problems and different things that are going on around the world. People can tweet and they can share their opinions. They can share anything they want to, through tweet, and people can connect. People can enhance new ways of information, and they can learn from each other, and they can learn, current events that are happening. There is a twin dilemma because people can interact with other students, but there can also be social media that is inappropriate, comments to other students that might be inappropriate as well. And many schools don't have access to social media websites for authentic learning. So many students might not use this powerful tool as something effective. So that's my article number 2. My article number 3 is like using Facebook and other social networking sites in K through 12 classrooms, ethical considerations for safe social networking. So in other words, I wanted to reinforce that social networking sites is a web-based communication that has a powerful tool of users who can communicate with one another through settings defined within the system. One thing, Professor, is that I'm talking about communication within classrooms and how teachers can use these type of social media tools and strategy to enhance better communication in the classroom. So it is a social networking sites provide a revenue, a journey, a pathway to make pieces of information, to introduce new pieces of technology, but there are implications that we need to be aware. Okay, my ethical considerations are: we need to minimize the potential for inappropriate relationships between students and educators, as well as any other type of psychologically damaging behavior. There could be communication that can become against cyberbullying, oversharing. So there are good parts of communication. Schools have started to use secure systems such as Casvan, Blackboard, that gives students the tools to dig the information, and teachers can now have their own digital literacy skills developed to an appropriate level to stay ahead of their connected students. So that's the ethical responsibility. Social media, digital communication. This one particularly was pretty challenging for me because there are many ways of digital communication. However, email, blogs, Twitter, online communication, wikis are the most common ones. So we use blogs because we want to post information, current events. It can be like an online journal about information, reflections. Twitter is an example of blog, but it has limit words and character. So online discussions, there is an opportunity where students and teachers can discuss several topics, and wikis are teachers and students create together and revise comments. Email, of course, we have done some emails and text message, which shows short communication between two or more individuals. So this is parts of digital communication. Tool or Twitter. Twitter is a social media. It allows general populations to read information, or they can post important thoughts or ideas about politics, companies, different organizations, celebrities, athletes, etc. Twitter, it is a micro login site in which user, they use 100 character or less with followers. It is a special tool that people can use. So I have my to Twitter email. Email is an easy way for teachers to communicate with parents, students, and colleagues. It allows teachers to have a record of information. It can be used to teach spelling or writing skills. Teachers can use email to hold online office hours, enable students to ask questions, discuss assignments, and it's just the right way of communication where teachers and students can share questions, concerns. So I can see email working for me. Blogs. I personally use blogs where it is an evolving nature of online communication by teachers. Teachers can post live links, publish student work, whole online discussion using blogs. And I personally like it because the posting that people are doing, they are focusing on their audience who can access your site, ownership or authority, who creates the content of your site, key communication, student learning, student family communication, professional networking, instructional opportunities, and focus on issues important to students. So blogs can focus on something reflective. It can focus on something that is going on. So I see it as a powerful tool of communication. Wikis, just to reiterate, Wikis it still incorporates social media. It amplifies student learning outside of the classroom settings, which I enjoy. Students can learn current issues. They can receive feedback from different academic strengths, skills, and developmental opportunities. And it's a collaboration where students can share ideas, enable a diverse group of individuals to capture in developing and creating content. People can add or edit content that has already been published. And they can modify or manipulate any knowledge, opinions, or information. So wiki content allows instructors and students to assimilate mini weblogs. It can be a powerful instrument and assessment for connecting people to supporting a wide area of communication and networking. Wikis, I see teachers use it a lot, especially in the field of special education, autism, because people do, teachers develop group projects where students can use Wiki. They can obtain information, tools, strategies, learning experiences, and convey effective communication through the use of collaborative group. And my guiding question, I provide guiding questions where you can see what does evidence-based practice and empirical research say about Wikis? Predictions. What are some benefits and risks of using digital communication in the classroom? Evaluation. For example, if you were stating a class project or on an approved social network site, what are some ground rules you will want to employ for you and your students, and why? Based on what you know about teaching blocks, is this something you would implement in your own classroom? A lot of us are in the education department, teachers, so it's important to know what kind of applications, what kind of evaluation technology tools we're going to be using to teach our students and to be more effective in our classrooms. This is my references. I use several references of transforming learning with new technologies. And as you can see, Professor, I have my guiding questions, Wikis content. I provide blogs, email, TED, Twitter, digital communication, but I wanted to reiterate social media. So that's my chapter A, and that's going to be in my textbook where I got information about technology, information I consider ethical considerations for using social media such as Facebook and Twitter in the classroom, Article 1, Learning Journey for All. And it's just a little overview of the presentation. Okay, and I'm going to be in slow motion so you can see it, and my students can see it as well, my classmates, because my classmates are going to be viewing this presentation as well. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed, and I had a great time doing this project, and I learned tremendously. Okay, thank you, and be blessed.